I've done a few wild camps now and I've learnt a lot. I've also made loads of mistakes along the way. So I thought today I'd share 5 of those mistakes with you so that you can avoid them. So let's jump straight in with the first one, which is wearing totally the wrong clothing. So looking back to my first ever wild camp, I didn't have a clue really. I went out in a massive, thick carry-more coat. And while that's fine for short sort of dog walks and things like that, it's no good for wild camping. It will keep you nice and warm to start with, but as you move around more, you start to get warmer, you'll start to generate heat, and you'll start to sweat. And that can be quite dangerous when you're out. You need to layer up. So you can add or remove layers when you need to, according to the conditions and according to your body temperature. Remember as well that cotton is your enemy. Once it gets wet from rain, water or sweat or whatever it is, it takes a long time to dry out and it'll stay wet. And it'll lose all of its insulating properties. So stay away from cotton, and that includes your underwear. The next mistake I've made is not checking the weather. Now, I don't just mean checking the weather, that's pretty obvious, but you need to become obsessed with it. You need to check it, monitor it, become obsessed with it from a few days before you go out to a few hours before you go, as well as while you're out on your camp. You'll be surprised how quickly things can change. Again, back to my first camp, some rain came in overnight that wasn't shown on any forecast that I'd checked. It came in right at the last minute without any warning. So I had to sit in my tent and wait it out, which wasn't fun. So always check multiple sources for the weather forecast. Always pack your waterproofs and be ready for if the forecast does change at the last minute. So the next mistake is going off route. It's tempting to wander off and explore while you're out, like I am today. But before you go, you need to make sure you check out the whole area on your maps and not just the route that you're planning to take. On my first failed wild camp, I decided to have a wander and ended up falling into a bog that was clearly marked on OS maps and other maps as well. I just hadn't fully checked the area before I decided to go wandering around. So fully check your maps before you go and as you're going along as well. So I've just stopped to grab a bite to eat. I've got my BCB stove today because I just want to sit nice and quietly in the woods here and chill. I'm still working my way through the Wayfarer meals that I've got. This is a meatballs and pasta one. But like I said before, I wouldn't recommend buying these because the packaging on them is not recyclable. The only reason I'm eating them is because I've already got them. The next mistake is packing in the wrong order. So I've done it before where you find yourself a nice spot to pitch your tent and then you realise that you've packed your tent right at the bottom of your rucksack. So you have to remove every other item before you can start pitching your tent. And if the weather's not on your side, it's really not ideal. So when you are packing, think about the order that you're going to need to take things out of your bag. So you're probably going to need access to your tent, ground sheet, pegs and poles first, and then all the other stuff that goes inside your tent. You'll always need access to your water and snacks and waterproof layer as well. So most rucksacks come with side pockets or a big pocket on the back to put things like that in so that you can get to them quickly. And I like to put everything inside my pack if I can, but some people strap their tent to the outside so that you can get to it really quickly and easily at any time. Do me a quick favour and hit the thumbs up down below if you're enjoying the video, or if you're not, hit thumbs down and we'll crack on. So the next mistake is not having a packing list. Now I'm a forgetful person anyway, so I tend to make notes and leave reminders for pretty much everything, but there's still been times where I've ended up needing something that I've left at home. So I'd recommend keeping a master list that you can tick off as you pack and have multiple of all the essential stuff like your lighters, rubbish bags, batteries, all that kind of stuff, just in case one or even two fail. And it doesn't matter how many wild camps you've done, how many times you've been, it's always worth just having that list for the extra peace of mind. On my first wild camp, I actually forgot my walking boots and ended up sliding around the top of Stanage Edge wearing the trainers that I've driven there in. Hashtag confessions. Nobody's perfect, so share your own mistakes down in the comments below so that we can all learn from them, and I'll see you in the next one.